Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Civilization 6 Rise and Fall. Check this out, I was checking out the era progress menu to see how long before our Golden Age started, because I'm curious what we're going to get. When we entered this era, I thought, oh, Arabia only got a normal age as well, I guess we're keeping up. It turns out every other player that we had not yet met at that time managed to pull off a Golden Age, so partially, we're fighting uphill a little bit. I assume. I guess I don't know how significant a Golden Age really is. Also, if you had useful comments that you left on the previous video, I'm sorry, I have not seen them. Our internet here went out pretty much immediately after I finished uploading the last video, and it's been out for an entire day at this point, so I'm flying solo right now. Hopefully, if you corrected me on stuff, it won't have been too pressing. Well, one thing that I corrected myself on, one thing I realized is knights are heavy cavalry. There are two different classes of cavalry unit. Knights are heavy cavalry and horsemen are light cavalry, so we will not be able to upgrade horses into knights because that's not how the game works. I need heavy chariots to upgrade into knights. So we might, we'll finish building the horsemen that we're building because they're mostly done, and they still will be useful, but we're going to have to make some. Well, I guess it's going to be 2 turns. We're not going to have the chance to make any heavy cavalry. We'll just make the knights directly. It's alright. It'll be fine. I still have hope here. I still think that there's a chance for pulling this off. Okay, our horseman wields horses as a weapon for the first time in the world. We're actually, like, completely killing it on era score. I wish that we could bank this for future eras. What is this 2 down here? This is just we're in the second era. Probably. Okay. So yeah, a lot of heavy cavalry on Macedon's part. I'm debating, do I think that this spearman will die if I come down here? The thing is, he'll be in a space with 2 movement cost. Like I think he'll only actually get attacked by just this one. Yeah, I think it's too dangerous. Let's back him off. This way our archer is going to eat a hit from this guy, which is going to hurt, but I don't think it should kill him. He's in a space with a defense modifier. I think he'll be alright. I'm starting to get really concerned about the way they're encroaching over here. I may not make landfall with this archer here. Let's fall back a little bit more. Okay, so the city doesn't have walls. We can start bombarding. I believe we can't shoot from the water over trees and hills, unfortunately, so that's why I couldn't just open up on this guy. This space is forested, yeah. It's kind of hard to tell because the spices are plants, they create visual clutter. Also, the yield icons don't really need to be on. That's another source of visual clutter. Okay, so over here in the capital, we just finished our horseman. We can't start making a knight for a turn. Is there anything I can do for 1 turn that would be useful? I can make half of a granary. We're approaching our housing cap, but not super quickly. I wonder if I might be better off just working on a monument instead. Our culture output is not the greatest. Yeah, alright. And I think same thing here, right? We're just finding something to burn time until we're ready to start making knights. So I don't think it's super important to put up walls. We start on a district. That's probably a good idea. Commercial hub, maybe? Alright, we don't want to put it adjacent to the thing. We don't want to lower the adjacency bonus in this, especially now that it's being doubled for us. Did I have a plan? Man, if I had a plan, I should have left a pin somewhere. I'm going to assume that I didn't. Let's put this down here. Okay, horseman. Fortunately, the horseman's able to get on the road right away. Alright, I think things are going okay. Alright, he took a moment to gain a promotion.
Mercy I asked, mercy I found.
With such a large standing army, you may want to consider adding mercenaries if your army needs to expand further. There aren't actually mercenaries. That's just the name of a technology. Okay, so I'm going to have to get right up on him to shoot him. Oh, I only have one attack range anyway. So we're going to get shot by the archer from the city, but normal ranged units don't do a ton of damage to boats. They changed the rules a little bit, so you want to use like artillery and siege type units to take down a boat now. All right, horsemen start running in. I should probably back this archer up. Now that this thing has so much health, it's not super safe to just stand there and fire at him. Alright, you should be safe to make landfall here. This is going to be tough. Ah, stupid city-state units. That's very inconvenient. Alright, this city desperately needs industry. That's right. That's I was going to make a mine on that hill. That's why I stopped there. Ooh. Really? 19 turns to a knight, huh? Well, that's not great. A knight that takes 19 turns to produce will not be useful in this emergency, which only has 19 turns left on it. And unfortunately, now that I can make the knights, I can no longer make chariots to just buy them up into knights, because you can only make the most recent thing of each class. Well, I can certainly make more swordsmen. Horsemen and swordsmen have the same combat strength. And we're not seeing a lot of spears or anything from them. This thing might have a bonus against horses. We can produce the horsemen so much faster than we can produce the swordsmen. Yeah, alright. And tech. Oh, I never had the ability to build chariots in the first place. Well, probably education should be next. The university is a smart move. Ooh, or maybe machinery? It'll be 7 turns to get us machinery, but it'll mean that we can upgrade our archers into crossbows. They will be terrifying. Also, is this a new wonder? 3 envoys when built. When you are a suzerain of a city-state, this city receives a plus 15% boost to the yield provided by that city-state. If you're suzerain to 2 or more city-states of that type, an additional 15% boost is given to all your cities. This seems very cool. We will not be trying to build it, because we have a lot of other things to do, but that seems like a really cool wonder. Oh, they just got walls. Crap. Well,
Don't reinvent the wheel.
that means that our quadrireme is now useless, because it's just going to get destroyed by the city. Well, okay, we can pull over here. These guys ran up adjacent to the coast, which I really appreciate. Yeah, and there's no universe where I can get Valletta on my side. That sucks. Well. Yeah, there's no two ways about that. That just really sucks. We're gonna end the era with 6 million era score, which unfortunately is not actually better than 44. I'd really like to get the super wounded archers like into the city if possible. And the density of city-state units over here that are just not helping, not harming us, just being in the way is really annoying. And Valletta has properly closed their border. That's awkward as well. Well, it'll take to build a knight here. Oh, it would only take 8 turns if I had 2 sources of iron. But unfortunately, I traded some of my iron to Poundmaker. How long is that going to be for? And I see... Okay, well, here's all the alliance stuff. We'll worry about this later. There's no way for me to see the duration of my deal. What about I mouse over this. Resources. 4 turns. Okay. So in 4 turns, I'll be able to start making knights in the capital. I wasn't expecting this to be such a big deal. Okay, how about... In 4 turns, we can produce 2 horsemen, apparently. Just swarm the front with horsemen. But the horsemen are going to be useless against the city now. You know what? Let's build a battering ram. So if we move the battering ram adjacent to the city, then our melee units will do full damage to the city's walls instead of the dramatically reduced damage that they normally deal. We're 2 turns off of having catapults, too. Let's build the ram. But it looks like we are probably going to lose this emergency. This is annoying. Okay, the horsemen have almost arrived. I'm so disappointed that nobody wanted to help me with this. Don't really want to just charge in here because we will get... we'll get killed by the other units he has around. But running up here to provide a block for the archer, I think is probably an okay play. We'll just have the archer start healing in position where he is right now. Yeah, unfortunately there's not much for this quadrireme to do. People are building all kinds of wonders all over the place. We're very close to actually having... walls here. No, I'll take the promotion. Okay, this thing is fleeing. I don't know. It's going after Valletta. Just trying to get away from the archers, I guess, probably. Alright, well, we're about to have a whole lot of units over there. You know, I think we just earned an envoy, and I think I will place them in Valletta, even though it's not going to get us suzerainty, because it's going to get us this. Although I guess, yeah, now that these are reliant on the buildings, we didn't actually make a barracks or a stable. I suppose we'll just hold the envoy then, for now. No sense placing it. It's not going to get us anything. Yeah, it's not impossible that we could get this still. Ah, they both got promotions, really? That sucks. Fortunately, this encampment is turning out to have been extremely good. That's a very, very good play on my part. My, how impressive. Step you forward. Step you out of the way, because I want the knight to be able to run through and hit stuff. Move to here and finish that guy off. We might actually want this knight to fall back. Our archer here isn't in any danger. I think he's far enough away. Gotta buy that knight some time to go heal. Oh! Cool, moved adjacent to the coast. Alright. Still got one more turn left on that knight deal, don't we? We can make a catapult. We start working on a catapult, I suppose. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I'm assuming that you don't have enough, not enough production to make a knight with any kind of reasonable speed. Alright, I think we'll just keep working on the commercial hub then. Okay, so this is him hinting at his other agenda, or rather, pretty much outright telling us that his other agenda is that he wants to explore everything, and he wants other civilizations to explore less than he does. Alright, so... We won't kill the thing with this shot anyway. We may as well just take our promotion. Combat strength versus naval units leading into combat strength versus land units, or district defenses refers to walls. So actually, I think bombardment is a fine thing to take here. When it's time to move in, we can... Boy, this is... He sure does have a lot of units. Fall back to here and heal. This archer is going to get charged by those guys if we manage to kill this warrior, so we want to be sure that we don't do that. We can soften him up, but we don't want to kill him. There we go. City can't... Oh, the city can't fire over hills. It used to be in Civ 5 that cities always had vision of the 2 tiles around them, regardless of the terrain. But it is not the case here, apparently. Okay, swordsman upgrade was economical. Okay, we made the first unit, that particular strategic unit. Yet more era score thrown down the tubes. At least our great scientist play is going to work out. So you just shelter in place. Do some good damage to this guy. And we're fighting through a crazy amount of units here. I was kind of hoping that the fact that Alexander is involved in a war with Arabia was going to have... Oh, good, they made peace. Well, that's why that stopped working. I was hoping that, we'd be able to rely on Arabia to draw some of his attention away. So let's see, we only have 11 industry right now. We should probably make an industrial zone here. Plus, industrial zones are just good to have. Although, where do I want it? I kind of don't want it here, right? We don't want to lower the adjacency bonus, the not adjacency bonus of our campus. We want to put it in a position where it can have mines next to it because it gets extra industry from mines. So I kind of want to put it here or here, I think. And unfortunately, I just spent a bunch of money on upgrading my warrior, so maybe we just wait on that a little bit. You know what we can do to add a little bit of industry and also some food is... I mean, it is only +1 of each, though. The real advantage of the watermill is how it pumps up your rice and wheat, but this city doesn't have any rice or wheat. It's entirely reliant on sugar for its food, so... We could just produce another military unit. I'm a little worried about the fact that these are going to show up to the battle pretty late. There's only 14 turns left on the emergency. That said, maybe it's worth making a knight, even if it's not going to contribute to the emergency, just because it will... it'll be good for defense afterward. I'm sure Alexander is still going to be mad at us after the emergency ends. If we were going to make... Maybe this is an okay place to make it, though. It could only be adjacent to 1 mine here. The other thing I'm thinking of is eventually you get a building in the industrial zone that extends its production out to other cities within 6 hexes. So, if we wanted to build the industrial zone in a place where it would serve these two. Is it possible for it to serve Yongsan as well? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... is not within 3. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this spot will not reach Gyeongju. But if we did end up making a factory here, it would serve Gwangju. 2, 3. We would lose 2 science by putting the industrial hub here, but it does then reach both of those cities, and we get to start working on it right away, which is, I think, important. This city just needs more production. Maybe I'm willing to eat a little bit of science, or... Yeah, it would have to be in this row or above. We're not that far from being able to purchase this tile. Then we can make a mine here. Yeah, and I mean, this tile really needs to be a mine anyway, because it's adjacent to that. Yeah, alright. So we'll just do something else for 2 turns. Probably not put 2 turns toward a knight, though, right? Why don't we put 2 turns toward walls? Because the city is on the coast, and if we ever got involved in a naval war, that could be a thing. That could be an issue. Okay. So, the aqueduct cannot be laid here, despite the fact that this tile should totally work, which means that Torres del Paine is not technically a mountain. It is an impassable natural wonder that looks like a mountain, but is not actually a mountain. Well, I'm glad we didn't build the city over here, where I was thinking of originally. This is a total bummer, though. You know what? Work on a builder, because we could certainly use another builder over here. We could expand these tiles a little bit, improve these tiles a little bit more. Now that we have our walls here, I wish we had this tile, because I'd love to build an encampment right now. We make units very slowly in this city. Yeah, sure. Work on a swordsman. Actually, how are our citizens equipped here? Okay, there's actually no tiles that we could work that have more industry than the tiles that we're already working. Boy, he just has a never-ending swarm of them, huh?
In the defense, the possibility of victory.
Okay. Ancient and classical era heavy and light cavalry units, a lot less relevant than they once were. So we could put in a bonus toward ancient and classical era melee units, which would speed up our swordsmen. We could also put in bastions, which we just got access to, and increase our city's range strength by 5, but I think that's less good than getting our swordsmen. Hold on, before we confirm that. Let's make absolutely certain I'm not crazy. Yes, swordsmen are classical era. Okay. Speed up our swords a little bit. Battering ram's on the way, guys. Just survive. Find a way to survive. We'll just come over here and wait for something to fall into the trap. So fight the dangerous units first. I wonder if we should move... Like, maybe swap... Yeah, let's do this. Let's swap the archer and the swordsman. Unfortunately, it looks like there's no way for us to kill that thing this turn, but I'm not too worried, I guess. This guy dies. Yeah, so the city has walls, but it also only has 28 combat strength. This is not unconquerable. Alright, if I do this, our horsemen will die, but trading our horsemen for their special horse thing that is a little bit more dangerous, I think is an okay play. Because our horseman's definitely going to get killed by warriors now. But also, it keeps the archer safe. Like, killing that horse accomplishes a lot. Now, this guy could just move into the city. If he stays out, he's definitely dead. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, we got a governor title. So we could pick up Garrison Commander or Defense Logistics. The thing is, we could pick up Garrison Commander and then swap him over to Hattin. That actually sounds really good. It'll take him 3 turns to establish, but this fighting is going to continue for 3 turns. So let's promote you, give you Garrison Commander, and reassign you to Hattin. I like that he establishes quickly. Let's see. We're in position to make knights, and our knights are going to be powerful once they're made. So maybe we want to put up a stable, which will give us some buffs to cavalry trained in Seoul, and of course extra production, just in general, which is, you know, always useful. We should probably keep producing actual military units, though. Let's make a sword. Yeah, you know, this veterancy policy. Make it a little faster for us to build the stable once we want to. We have a boost to mercenaries now. 50% discount on unit upgrades is a significant benefit. We'll take military training on the way toward mercenaries. Alright, so that guy's dead, but he's doing some good work.
Remember that people break down too, not just machinery.
How expensive is that upgrade? 190 gold, so not something we'll be able to do, probably. But we can start building those, at least. Oh, that was a veteran. You get era score for killing high tier enemy units, so enemies that have lots of promotions. That's pretty cool. We should definitely be taking our promotions as early as we can take them. Alright, so we can kill you. I mean, we're getting there, right? We're getting through them. We have to be killing them faster than they're being built. We have 12 turns to resolve this. I think it's still possible. I think it's a lot less likely now, but I think it's still possible. We've got 2 quadriremes for when it's time to hit Mohenjo-Daro, we can come in and do it from the water as well. Yep, you're just waiting here. Unfortunately, you can't heal boats outside of your territory. If Hatton were to claim this space, we could repair our ship here. Incendiaries will help bring down the wall. Once a unit hits 2 promotions, you can name them. Which I do like to do, but I don't like to come up with my own name, so let's just hit randomize a couple of times. The Lion Bombardiers. The Holy Knockers, there it is. That's obviously the winner. Okay, now that we have machinery, we can start thinking about crossbows. Let's hit education. And I know we're working on these swords already, but how long does it take to build a crossbowman? 1,000,000 turns. Okay, that's right. We don't have a policy boosting our build speed on those, so that makes it a little awkward. Well, that horseman did an awful lot of damage there. Alright, so our horse would probably claim this guy, but then he'll get arched and... Hold on. We'll see if that's right. I don't think I have the information to decide on that one yet. So obviously I'm a lot less worried about the... warriors than I am about these other units. Try to keep our swordsmen alive for the moment. Yeah, warriors are not a not a huge threat. Cities can shoot out 2 spaces, so if we move to here, we'd immediately start taking bombardment damage from the walls. The horseman's going to be at full health pretty soon. We're going to have to make our real push when the ram gets here, because we're out of time.
If it's natural to kill.
Hold up. England pillaged an enemy library with a warrior, and we heard a combat sound. Has England gone to war with Alexander? Nope, they're friends. I just, like, the pillage happened, and then he pulled his unit back. It seemed like a coincidence. I guess it was just a coincidence, but it seemed like it was maybe significant. Alright, and just in time for our units not to need a combat buff around the city anymore, our guy has shown up. Well, thanks, Victor. I mean, you're doing good work. Don't let anybody tell you different. Let's just blow this guy up real fast. And we're here. So the battering ram's a support unit. It does not require its own space, and in fact, we should not be putting it in its own space. Alright, everybody take a moment. Heal up a little bit, because it's about to be time. this catapult is not going to get there in time, but assuming that the war continues beyond the end of the emergency, we might still want it up at the front so that we can take stuff. If only we had been able to use Valletta. If only we had Valletta as our friend during this, I'm sure they would have been very helpful here. Poundmaker indirectly really screwed things up for us. All right, what's next? So we could head for mercenaries. We'd have to pick up feudalism first. Oh, feudalism does have the boost to the unit production that we want. Civil service lets us get alliances, and now that alliances have a whole bunch of new mechanics associated with them, I do want to try that stuff out. So this is going to be 26 turns away. Yeah, let's go to civil service. I would like to learn firsthand about the new alliance mechanics. Okay. A lot of my units are more injured than I would like. So move in here. We'll lock these two together. I'm going to give us one turn of just sitting and healing, I think. Because the swordsman needs to have health because he needs to be protecting the ram as it approaches. You don't get any healing if you hit fortify until healed without your full complement of movement points. You won't get any healing on that turn. So that guy's not actually going to gain any health. He'll get a little bit of health this turn. And next turn we go, because we have to. It's going to be close. Building a market will get us another trade slot, which will be very, very helpful. So we have a pair of swordsmen that are going to spawn with 7 turns left. Yeah. Alright. They have a catapult. That's actually pretty significant damage. I was not expecting the boat to deal that much damage to the walls. Okay. So we gotta move in and threaten that catapult. That catapult cannot be allowed to just pick at us. Everybody as far in as you can get. Yeah, you can't move any further than that. I don't know. Honestly, I think we might have this. You are so in the way. I think we might be able to do this. Might have this is strong. What I meant is might be able to do this. Okay. So let's buy this. Put down our industrial zone. The industrial zone is important because, obviously, production is always important. It's also important because the industrial zone produces great engineer points, and great engineers... Some of the great engineers are easily some of the best great people. Alright, second wave of swordsmen coming up. That one's going to take a while to get into position. Oh, and of course they have a bunch more units than it appeared that they had.
Our accomplishments have propelled our civilization into a golden age. During this time, our civilization will be stronger and more loyal than ever.
The purpose of education.
Okay. So, everybody else is in a normal age except for Arabia, which fell into a dark age. Citizens exert 1.5 loyalty pressure on their city. This pressure also affects other cities within 9 tiles. You may make a dedication, which will provide a powerful gameplay bonus. Yeah, we did some good work there. We got 8 points from our dedication, our previous dedication bonus, which turned out to be completely overkill. All of it. So the Golden Age versions of these don't provide any era score, so that it's harder to roll into another Golden Age, but they do cool stuff. So like Eureka's provide extra 10% of technology costs. Commercial Hub and Harbor Gold Adjacency bonuses provide science as well. That is pretty good. That's another, what, like 4 or 5 science right there. Movement for builders may purchase civilian units with faith. Builders and settlers are 30% cheaper to purchase with faith and gold. That seems very good. It's not really relevant to our situation right now, but if you can get a golden age during like the classical era and then just expand like crazy, that seems awesome. This is just the culture version of free inquiry, plus movement for religious unit stuff. I think we're going to take free inquiry. We're going to keep focusing on science. We just got education. That's great. Military engineering will reveal the presence of niter to us. Gunpowder, which we then can use to make good units. And also, it's a prereq for our unique units. So yeah, let's head to military engineering. We don't have construction boosted, but we have so much science that we do it in one turn anyway. Okay, I think this is a reasonable way to go. Okay, so what are we gonna do here? So once we deplete the walls of the city entirely, the city can no longer bombard. Is this a hill tile? It is. That's a shame. So we can't move into this tile and still have the ability to shoot. So we'll just fire now. You can see you really, really don't deal a lot of damage to walls with normal arrows. Well, we definitely don't just want to charge our horse into the wall. I'm going to move this archer up here, even though he may just get killed. He does have the hill defense bonus. The enemy is attacking him across a river, which is negatively affects damage dealt. He might still, he might survive. And if he does survive from the hill, he can easily shoot the city next turn. But I think we're going to break down the wall this turn. Or this coming turn. The quadriremes turn out to be a lot better at this than I thought they would be. We can pillage his stuff, and pillaging a farm heals you. So obviously we don't want to do it now. We want to save it until that horseman's actually injured. Alright. Still possible. Still possible. Not super likely, but possible. The emergency is 7 turns long from here. We can't really build anything that will be relevant. So, let's start improving our stable. Hatton. Boy, Hatton, what are you going to do? Probably a builder, right? We can get the spices and the olives, and we can start build a mine somewhere, because I'm sure we'll need one. Alright. Hatton was a bad city. This is a bad build on Arabia's part, but it really has helped us a lot that they built it and then just lost it to us immediately. Okay, they didn't quite get the walls down. I'm going to move the ram in here. Now that the ram's adjacent to the walls, our melee units do a lot more wall damage. Okay. Walls are down. City no longer has bombard ability. That's a big, big deal for us. I wish that my horse was not the one who could cross the river. So the city right now is healing a little bit every turn. We can siege the city to prevent it from healing. To do so, we have to exert zone of control on each space around it. We're currently, I believe, exerting naval zone of control with our ranged ships. I'm not sure. Normal ranged ground units don't exert zone of control, so maybe ranged ships don't either. But we don't have any zone of control on this space because it's across the river from our horsemen. So we can move our horsemen over here and potentially lock the city out of healing, but then he's going to get spearmaned in the back a whole bunch. I'm going to do it. Okay, yeah, that does work. So our naval ranged units do exert zone of control. Okay, so we'll step over here. Let's our other units continue to join the fight. We have 6 turns to finish this. I think we might do it. And we're hearing Scarborough Fair now, so obviously this is Britain's music. I think the best thing for this archer's survival is to shoot at the horseman. The archer does so little damage to the city that I'm not even really worried about that. Oh, you don't have enough movement to really do anything anyway. Yeah, just skip your turn. Next turn, he probably pillages that farm. Depending on what the catapult does. The catapult might kill our spearman, which wouldn't even be a big deal, because he'll just be replaced by this swordsman. Unfortunately, this farm is pillaged already from, I'm assuming, Macedon did it while they were invading the city the first time. But the catapult did not fire, it chose to run instead. Man, these ships are great. Alright, shoot the crap out of the city. Well, we definitely want the spearmen and the swordsman to trade places. Actually, the spearmen should probably, like, back way out. Swordsmen come up and do some good city damage. I think we're going to get this. We have 5 turns left. Yeah, this is good. We are good. Link you with the swordsman. The horse doesn't actually attack? Or the horse attacks the catapult, maybe? It would do some meaningful damage to the city, but I don't think it will change the number of turns that we need to actually take it. Because I think we're going to get it next turn anyway, between the quadriremes and the swordsman. And the horseman will take a lot of damage fighting it, whereas he can do some pretty good damage to this catapult without taking much himself. And I'm sorry to say, you're dead. I've sacrificed you for the good of the mission. Here, deal some damage. Stupid city-state units, always in the way. Alright. I'm going to move this guy up towards Seoul, actually. We'll have him park in here, and we can, provided that the war with Macedon continues, which it might not. It might be like, emergency settled, we're all good now. But if it's not, you know, Pydna's potentially vulnerable. I don't know that I would keep it. I might just burn it. It's kind of not a great city. Alright, so you guys hit the city some more.
We have taken a new city into our civilization by force. In order to keep it, we must maintain the loyalty of its citizens.
Okay. But we have to liberate the city to win our thing. And also, I want the city around. Like, it's providing culture to us and stuff. So we're going to hit the Liberate button. Provides a severe reduction to previously earned warmonger penalties. The city will be immune to loyalty pressure from our cities and governors. Obviously, it's a city-state. Okay. And when you liberate them, I believe what happens is they come back into play with zero envoys from other players and 3 from you, but obviously it can still get taken back from you. It's a good position, though. Unfortunately, Mohenjo-Daro's suzerain bonus is not actually very good. And I assume we'll get a notification that we successfully completed our emergency on this coming turn. So let's weaken this guy as much as possible before sending our warrior in so that he takes the least amount of damage. And they didn't actually kill our archer, and now they've lost their opportunity. He gets away. Okay, we need to back up and heal and stuff. We are in terrible, terrible shape right now. Oh, the swordsman can move forward again. He probably should. Sorry about burning your farms, Mohenjo-Daro. No, it was necessary. I guess we'll just take a promotion. Plus combat strength versus anti-cavalry leading to cheaper pillages. Or plus combat strength when attacking ranged and siege units. I mean, this is what you want to be using your horsemen for, right? You might be fighting some anti-cav soon here. And Alexander has knights. I would like this war to end. If it is possible for us to just get peace, we should get peace. I'm going to take coursers. I'm going to be optimistic. Alright, I'm not interested in whatever political crap she's worried about.
We have successfully completed our mission. and have received our rewards. For now, that should hold back the...
Okay. So +1 gold from each of our envoys for the rest of the game, and we got 3,600 gold. I guess the fact that the era changed during the emergency changed the rewards is what it must have been. Because it was 2,400 before, right? Okay, and we won the emergency, giving us some era score as well. And we're still at war, so... First we should do as much damage as possible to his units this turn. Because that's scary. And then we should, after we've moved all of our units, we should see if he'll accept peace. Let's have you... Oh, you can't see him over the hills. That's inconvenient. We can also revolutionize our army right now. Like, we just made a ton of money. We can upgrade all of our units. But upgraded units have higher gold upkeep costs, so I wonder if we should do that. You know, Commando's not, in general, in my opinion, terribly useful, but it actually, if he survived this turn, it would save his life, because he'd be able to enter the sea immediately. I think the odds are pretty good that he does not survive the turn, if we don't get peace, though. So every little bit of damage we can deal here will help. Okay, we were able to move to a spot where we could fire. Probably exit escort formation. We should move the ram out of there. So I'm going to use this as a way of getting him out to safety. I guess he's not actually in danger, though, huh? He's in more danger here than he is here because the spearman attacking him across the river is not going to do that much damage. Alright, so just doing as much damage as possible to convince Alexander that this war is a bad idea to continue. Here. Oh, nice. Apparently killing a unit with a boat is a boost. I don't know that I don't usually get that one. I don't usually have a lot of ships. And we have some friendly territory now, so we can actually rest and repair. That's great. You probably just want to get over here. And if Alexander refuses peace, I'm going to be really, really glad that we made that that knight. Well, as much as I would love to make a university, this is probably the time to try the negotiations. Because if Alexander will not take peace... Okay, he is happy to accept this deal. Let's see if we can get something from him. Man, maybe we should just advance. Here's the thing. If we keep pushing, we will start taking warmonger penalties. People will like us less. However, the city... Hold on. Before we... Let's go over here. The city that we likely would go after next is actually Jerusalem rather than Pydna, because Jerusalem is a city-state. And if we just liberated the city-state, it would weaken Alexander while not really giving us any major warmonger penalties, but I wonder if continuing to push him is worth it. Because I don't think, like, I don't really want to settle out here. No, let's just go for peace. I think peace is right. We have a large military that we don't really need, but we can start sending them out and, like, having them explore the world for us. So yeah, peace is good. Peace and a bunch of your resources would be better. So he has Mecca, which is obviously an Arabian city. He has Auckland, which is another city-state. This guy is a threat to the world. But he's not a threat to us specifically. We can probably just win around him. Yeah, and I don't want to have to keep messing with him, so... Alright, white peace it is. We'll just take even peace. Then we'll send you a delegation. No, okay. I thought that probably wouldn't work, but worth a shot. Okay. I feel pretty good about how this has gone. So we don't need another night. Let's build a university. Oh, we can activate our guy now, too.
Blast. Build.
It turns out it didn't affect our era score. So we got military engineering, very convenient. Castles and... Oh, I thought he was supposed to give us 2 boosts. Well, whatever. Feeling pretty good about it. So let's build stuff that we need. Let's build things that are useful. Okay, so we have a source of niter, and it is within work range. That's a thing we'll spend money on. We have not discovered any other sources of niter, but we do have an encampment already, so we can make niter units, and we make them on the front where they'll be most useful. Okay, there is another source over here. I'm not too worried about. So what does Yangsan need? Nothing, really. I think... Let's build a galley. Because we could buy a galley, couldn't we? We have a crazy amount of money. We could buy this university. So there's a couple of things you can't buy. We can't buy walls. We can't buy districts. We can buy the buildings that go in the districts, but we can't buy the districts themselves. I do want to make sure we have enough money to buy the building in the industrial zone as soon as it's completed. So districts really are what we should be building. I'd love to build a harbor here. How far away from harbor tech? We are, in fact, not far from harbor tech. So let's give this city something small to work on in the meantime. It actually has enough population to have 2 districts. You get 1 population for every 3, or one district for every 3 population. And it rounds up. So as soon as you hit 4 population, you can have a second one. So why don't we start building... It'd be nice to have a Seiyun. Doesn't matter where we make it. If we built it on this side... No, these are not hills. Oh, if we built it here, the mine that we put down on the niter, we'll get +1 science. That's a way to do it. Although this tile's also just very good. Maybe I don't want to do that. I'm also buying this tile. And I mean, we may as well grab this while we're here. Yeah, you know, we'll put the same here. It'll get science on both of these mines. I know this is a good tile and we'll be eating it up, but I think it's worth it in the long run. Seiyun has to go on hills, though. Well, then, yeah, I guess it goes here. I completely spaced on the fact that it has to be built on hills for a second there. So what would it cost to just purchase this university? It would be a lot of our money. Oh, we should go around and buy watermills. Lots of places could use watermills. And in fact, we could use a granary right here, since we had soft-capped housing. Yeah, just straight purchasing a point of industry is a heck of a lot better than having to wait for it to normally build. And Seoul doesn't actually have a river, so it can't have a watermill. Okay. I'm going to hold off on spending any more money for a second here until I know how much the building at the industrial zone costs. Because it might be expensive. Actually, we can probably Civilopedia that, can't we? It is a workshop. Base cost $780. So you know what? I'm just gonna buy the university here, and we'll build the university there. Oh, you got a tech boost for astronomy. So we've lost our easy era score boosts. Will trade me spices for these things. This is not a good deal for me. I don't want your spices. I'm about to have spices of my own. So could you just give me more gold per turn? We'll still have enough iron and horses to make military units in Seoul if we have to, but I don't think we will have to. So I'm fine with that deal. Hey, listen, I don't fight for my people. I fight for other people's peoples. I am not about to declare war on you. Did you forget? My units are near your borders because we were just at war. Dude has a real short attention span. Big bombardment. It turns out these things are bananas for fighting cities, and that is a thing that I did not really know, but I'm glad to know because we may have to use that in the future. So now we have access to this great person. Gain 100 faith. This holy site district's faith bonus provides science as well. Obviously, this is not very good for us. I think we're going to pass on this one. Let somebody else take him. Yeah, another player has actually built enough campuses to get this. And we'll be able to get first shot at the next great person to come out of there, which I'm sure will be somebody who is a lot more relevant to our interests. Alright, so we want to, I guess, just get everybody back in our territory. I don't need to be all over the place. And then we can start using people as scouts out on the ocean once we have things a little bit more under control. But I'd like everybody to get back home and get to full health first. Actually, you can just heal up here. Mohenjo-daro is friendly. I am not going to spend money on upgrades right this second. We have 3 builds left. Well, I want to get over here and improve these tiles because they're both great.
And all I ask is a tall...
Alright, our progress towards guilds has advanced. I think we want to switch and start building the harbor. Right now, the harbor will give us, mostly it gives us money. But there's a building you can build in the harbor that gives extra industry. Now, you know what? I'm going to let him finish this thing. We'll build the harbor after. Okay, so we discounted that great scientist enough that they were immediately purchased, and now the new one triggers the Eureka moment for 2 random technologies, and Inspiration moment for 1 random civic from the medieval or Renaissance era. You know, that is the part of the trees that we're in right now. This person seems like they'll be useful enough. Plus, we do need sources of era score. So we got banking, humanism, and mass production boosts. Humanism is a pretty important one for the culture victory because you can start to make museums. Also the Taj Mahal, apparently. That's pretty cool. It increases the era score of all of your historic moments that are worth more than 1. That's interesting. I wonder if we should leave a couple of units over by Mohenjo-daro just in case. Because I don't trust Alexander not to just try to take them back. But we can maybe complicate that a little bit. Alright, well, we're going to need open borders with Victoria to explore any further in this direction. Is there any point in going down? We could go under the continent, I suppose, and explore that way with our quadrireme, this other one. It'll be a little slow to get out there, but it means we don't need another ship. Let's see if Victoria would do open borders with us. Actually, she likes us, right? A fair amount. That's, cool. Okay. So, open borders. I think this is a fine deal. I don't think us giving her open borders is going to be a problem. Okay, so now we can run through here. Now that we have friendly relations with a neighbor civilization, it may behoove us to solidify our relationship by making an alliance. Yeah, well, I'll try that, you know, just as soon as I'm actually able to do it. Okay, you just stay put. That is your home. The knight wouldn't make a bad scout. He'll be able to do a number on any barbarians he comes across. Do we actually... Yeah, we have the ability for units to embark. That's right. I was going to scout across the ocean earlier, and I forgot. Yeah, knight is fast and he's good at fighting barbarians. He'll head out across the ocean. I do want this other university. We also want the trader, though. I guess we can build traders in Hatton. Yeah, let's get a head start in the university. Let's get that going as quickly as we can. So this is the building that gives production in harbors. That might not be a bad move for us. Banking's not terrible. What we're really headed toward in the near future is, well, not the near future, but our eventual play is rocketry. We want to get to rocketry. We're going to try to win a science victory that way. So mass production is good because it leads toward the factory, which is the building that extends production to other nearby cities. It'll also show us where all the coal is, which we need to build some stuff. I guess that's going to be our idea as we're headed toward industrialization. Actually, sorry. Give me mass production first, then we'll get the rest of this stuff down. We'll get gunpowder eventually, but we don't need it right this second. So actually, who's Victoria in good with? Who could we... Alexander, she doesn't actually get along with Poundmaker very well. I'm wondering who else we could get a declared friendship going with. Because I want to try to build up alliances as much as possible. Tries to form multiple alliances, respects those who do likewise. So, like, if we ally with him and Victoria, that might be good. Can we get friendship with this guy too? There you go. Look how excited he is. Making friends and doing science and occasionally punching Alexander in the face because he makes it necessary. This is a good direction for our civilization, I think. All right, you guys fortify until healed, and I'll figure out what to do with you afterward. I mean, we can just give him the order. Get over here, and we'll figure out what to do with you then. Okay, we are about to know a whole lot more about the world. For example, we're about to meet a new player. And here's our Niter. Yeah, I think things are going really well. We managed to pull off that emergency. Our science progress is continuing. We can check this scoreboard here. We are leading in science by quite a bit. Yeah, wow, look at the science per turn of several of the other players. We have 3 times as much science output as Arabia does. That's a shame. Even Alexander, who is our closest competition, is not really close. It's possible that Korea's a little over the line. They seem awfully good. Anyway, that's going to be where we call it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really hoping that my internet connection comes back and I can upload this sometime today here on Friday. But, you know, if it has to be later, it has to be later. Come back next time. We're still shooting for the stars. And we'll see you then.